Hi, everyone, and welcome to Studio Jake. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Airy. Thank you so much for joining me today on my vidcast, where I talk about all things pop culture from anime to TV to film to novels and even video games. And I wanted to talk about a particular video game that was met with some controversy, some fanfare, all that good stuff. Before I dive into it, though, I wanted to ask you to please like this video, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment and tell me what you think, and subscribe. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it. Any and all help. All right, so what are we talking about today? Well, big news. I played and finished Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, and it was met with some controversy early on. So, as you all know, I am not an expert gamer. I'm not familiar with the lingo. I'm not connected to the community. Just through my wife. My wife is a huge gamer. I'm not really in that world. I'm more in the nerd pop culture space. So I'm basically a normie. So, yes, this is a normie reviewing Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Now, first of all, there was reports of a lot of glitching, a lot of mistakes, the game just crashing, and getting right into it, that did happen to me. Now, I didn't play on the PC port or on Xbox. I played on my PlayStation 5. So, my sort of glitches weren't as bad. My understanding was the PC and the Xbox people got it way worse. Now, if you want to know more specifically about the PC Xbox port, I believe Moist Critical, or Penguin Zero as he's known on YouTube, he did a breakdown of that. So I am only specifically talking about my PlayStation experience. So keep that in mind while you're listening to this review. So the story is fantastic. Cal Kestis is back. He's now working with Saw Gerrera's branch of the rebellion. Now, if you remember, Saw Gerrera, over time, he kind of becomes more and more idealistic, more agenda driven, as opposed to just trying to unseat the empire. He becomes more violent, even willing to risk civilian lives in the process of helping the rebellion, which Mon Mothma, Admiral Akbar, Princess Leia, they avoided that. So Cal Kestis being connected to this group is a pretty big deal. So he gets connected to one of Saw's men, and during a heist, which is the first level of the game, you are trying to steal information from a senator's ship, and in the process, you encounter the Inquisitor that you met from the first game, the kind of large alien one with the orange skin. You cut off her hand. You encounter her and have a rematch, and then the game goes from there. So you find out that Cal is actually alone. Seer and the rest of the crew, they have all gone their separate ways. They were kind of not into the whole rebellion thing, so they all split off and go their own ways. And during sort of this quest, Cal decides to look into a rumor about a another planet that is hidden, that can only be found through a specific navigational way. So he goes, and in the process, he accidentally unlocks an ancient Sith who had been being kept in stasis. Now, he was originally a Jedi, but he turned to the dark side, and so now you are after him. He's got an army of mercenaries working for him who, as soon as he wakes up, they come to get him. And whatnot. It was a very compelling story. There's sort of some subplots happening and some side quests that you have to do. As far as the gameplay, it was a lot of fun. It was smooth, just like the first one. I will say one of the things I didn't like about it, as far as the gameplay, is I hate it when games do this. They overcomplicated the skill tree. Whereas in the first one, you just sort of had three branches for lightsaber, for force powers, and then just one for general adventuring, sort of survival, I think it was called. And this one, you have so many lightsaber configurations. Instead of just kind of giving you general updates for when you use your lightsaber. Personally, I was a fan of the double lightsaber. This one added a blaster configuration and what's called a crossguard lightsaber, so it had like a longer laser sword blade, and it was really cool. But just my favorite is always going to be the double-bladed lightsaber. Big fan of that. But instead of having, like I said, just journal updates, every single configuration had a skill tree, and it was just kind of like, over time that got a little tedious, and which because I enjoyed switching, but over time I just kind of stuck with the double-bladed lightsaber because it was a little complicated trying to figure out, okay, do I want to increase this one right now? Do I want to do this one? Do I want to do, because you could also pull apart the lightsaber and do the dual wielding thing. That had its own skill tree. The Force and the Survival one weren't that complicated. There was just more. And it was just like, oh, okay. BD1, of course, is fantastic. He's like your little sidekick. He acts more like a pet than he does a droid, and that is really cool. I love their relationship. You can also customize him. I gave him Captain America colors because you could do red, white, and blue, so that was really cool. And you meet more people. You ally with more people in this one. You can actually take bounties in this one that help you develop skill points, gives you that you can get money in this one. That part of it was actually kind of cool. Even doing the main quest, one planet, I only explored something like 60% of it. And one planet, I didn't even get to do any of the side quests because I was just so focused on moving the story. I like to play the story. I'm not a big side quest person unless it has to do with the main story arc. But yeah, so a story, fantastic. Gameplay was good, but got complicated in the tedious thing. Now, as for the glitches, yes, there were lots of glitches. People falling through holes. One point, one of the things you have to do in this one is to unlock shortcuts. You have to actually find where a door opens on the other side, and that was similar to the first game. Well, one time I came to a door and I didn't realize that it was a shortcut door. I thought it was for the level. This was on Coruscant, I think. So I tried to use the Force to open it, and apparently there were stormtroopers on the other side, and they all got panicky. Now this happens in the first one if you try to use the Force on a door and there's guards on the other side, they like run up to you. Well, some of them actually phased through the door in a glitch and started attacking me. And so I had to waste a health stem to fight them. So that part was kind of aggravating. The glitches never affected me where like I fell forever or whatever or stuff like that, but definitely stuff like that. People walking through walls. I could see people like kind of bending through walls. Sometimes my force powers wouldn't work correctly, so I'd hit one that was a force push, but then something else would happen, like maybe my lightsaber would ignite. So yeah, definitely glitches like that. Overall, though, I enjoyed the gaming experience. I thought it was fun, and I've noticed that when I turn on my PlayStation to watch YouTube or to play the game or whatever, I frequently get notifications of update. This has been updated. This has been updated. So I think that EA Games, who produced the game, they are working to fix those glitches. So hopefully it'll be good over time. It's a shame that they rushed it because they had a good game on their sitting on them, but I think that them rushing it out and not working through some of those glitches kind of affected it. So yeah, that's my takeaway from Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I hope you enjoyed this review, and let me know, did you run into any weird glitches while you were playing it? I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Thank you for anyone who does, by the way. But yeah, oh, and by the way, Darth Vader was awesome. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to give away any spoilers. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, that you'll leave me a comment and tell me what you think, that you'll share it out with your friends, and of course, consider subscribing to StudioJake. I cover all kinds of nerd and pop culture topics, including film, television, anime, comic books, and so much more. I hope that you'll also head over to my main website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where I have even more news, views, and commentary. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, head over to my locals page. That's studiojakemedia.locals.com. It's the best way to support me. I'm trying to build a little community there. I have exclusive reviews and articles, so definitely head over there and check it out. And I'll see you next time, right here on Studio Jake.